Jen.
Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for coming. Today I'm going to be speaking with you about why I think adults should be able to have the right to carry a concealed handgun. So I want to ask, who here has ever shot a gun? You know, maybe you don't know a lot about guns. Maybe you've seen them in movies, maybe you see officers carrying them, or you see, some of the old Western films where they're carrying around what's called a revolver. What are your personal thoughts on handguns? What are your thoughts on the laws in accordance to them, carrying them? How do you feel about them? Handguns are, in today's day, one of the most common ways that American citizens decide to protect themselves, either in their home or outside of their home. It's something that is very controversial nowadays, something that a lot of people have different views on. And a lot of people, they don't understand some of the benefits that come along with being able to conceal a handgun. So that's what I'm going to go over with you today. I'm going to go over some of the benefits that come along with being able to conceal a handgun and why I believe that adults should have the right to carry them. Now, first I'm going to go over why I believe Americans have the right and why Americans support the right to be able to conceal a handgun. Then after that, I'm going to go through, how we use our firearms to protect ourselves, again, in our home and also outside of our home. And I'm going to go over the fact that gun owners are 90% of the time law-abiding citizens who aren't the ones that are out there, producing these crimes. So the first point I want to bring us to is that Americans support the laws of concealed carry, especially here in the state of Florida. Now, the process to get a concealed carry license is you actually have to get a license through a mandatory background check, and that's one locally and also one federally as well. Now, with that, you have to go through a concealed weapons class that teaches you how to properly handle a gun, how to handle a weapon, how to properly conceal it, when and when not to use it, and how to be properly trained with it. Now, most of these are instructor-led, and they're required for anyone that wants to be able to have a concealed weapons license. Now, another reason why Americans really support the law of being able to conceal a firearm is because it actually deters crime. So in a recent study done, it's actually been shown that people who carry a license and who carry a concealed firearm, there are 24% lower violent crime rates in their areas. So in places such as Florida and high areas where people will have a concealed license, 24% lower violent crime rates. It also is proven that there is a 19% lower murder rate as well, and a 39% lower robbery rates, which is all contrary to what people who don't support concealed carry believe. Now, it's also our God-given right to be able to conceal a firearm. So this is held in the Constitution within the Second Amendment, which tells us that we have the right to be a well-regulated militia in order to protect ourselves. So that's against enemies foreign and domestic, and part of that is being able to conceal a firearm. So legally, we have the right to be able to conceal a firearm. Along with that, we also have the human right to be able to protect ourselves, whether it's from someone in our home, someone outside our home, threatening ourselves or threatening our family, or our pursuit of happiness. We have the right to defend that, and a concealed weapons license helps us to do that. Now also, most American citizens who do carry a concealed weapon, they are law-abiding citizens. So, in my slide here, you can see that concealed carry owners are actually 5.7 times less likely to be arrested for a violent crime compared to the general population. So most Americans actually do have a concealed weapons license, but for the general population that doesn't, for those who do, they're actually 5.7 times less likely to be arrested for a violent crime. Now, along with that, they're 13.5 times less likely to be arrested for a non-violent crime. So that's things such as, it could be a car robber where there is no people involved. It could be something of that sort. They're 13.5 times less likely. Now, along with that, 128 per 100,000 concealed carry owners are arrested. So that's a much lower rate compared to the 710 per 100,000 of our general population. So 710 out of 100,000 of our general population are being arrested for violent crimes. Now, those who carry a concealed weapons license, that number is much, much lower. So in conclusion, the American people, most of them actually support the law of being able to conceal a firearm. And again, that's due because, first of all, it deters crime, and it's been proven to do so through recent studies. And you also have to go through specific classes and specific requirements in order to be able to actually handle that license and carry that weapon. Along with that, we went over the fact that it is our right, both lawfully and also just a basic human right, to be able to protect ourselves, the ones we love, and our home. Also, we went over the fact that most concealed weapon carriers are law-abiding citizens. They are less likely to commit crimes across the board. So in conclusion, I believe that adults should have the right to be able to conceal a firearm. And I hope that today you were able to see some of those benefits as well. And thank you again for coming.